I don't think that's a relevant question.
Perfect.
I don't think so. This is about our lives. This is about American lives. And it should not be partisan. Science should not be partisan.
At some point, the daily drumbeat of depression and terror veers into panic porn. FDR said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
I think the question is,
News sources have to rein it in.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
We need the news to calm down and treat us like adults.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and thanks for joining me again. We are in the studio, and holy cow, can you believe it? Ricky made it to Cleveland. We are here. He's here with right in the middle of the podcast. Don't miss it. It's a great show. So, Ricky, thanks for joining me, brother. Thank you for making it.
Thank you.
And my brother Kemp, as always. And, anytime we got food, Kemp's here. He's excited. He's ready.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, we're going to start the podcast off trying to figure out who has the best fast food burger. Now, you would be asking, why aren't you trying Wendy's or McDonald's or all the other trash with estrogen in it? Well, because that's exactly it. It's trash, and it's terrible for you. So for us, we're going to be trying as Kemp said earlier, the more high-end fast food joints. So here in Cleveland, there's a burger called Swenson's. Ricky said he already knows who he wants to win. He's already got his dog in the race. Now, Ricky, the one thing I wanted to tell you, and Kemp is excited to tell you as well, is when Jimmy Buffett was here, he was touring like about, 8 years ago, and he went to Akron, and they had him try Swenson's and their direct competitor, Skyway. It's the exact same restaurant style where you pull up in your car, everything. And I will tell you, the burger in paradise, man, Jimmy Buffett chose Skyway. So, they're very close.
With that?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, this is our Coke, right?
No,
same thing.
It's close.
So, we should start off with Swenson's to set the tone. Oh, so we also have Swenson's, Skyway, and then a country classic.
Midwestern. Yeah.
Yes. Culver's, which was originated in the South, Florida, Georgia, all those types of states, and it's worked its way up north. And we started.
I believe
getting
it started in Wisconsin, if I am correct.
Really?
But from what I said, you might just want to look it up. I don't know.
So it's a Midwest burger.
I think it's a Midwest burger. I'm sorry, I didn't want to.
Wisconsin. Way to go, buddy! It gave me the. Wow.
I know that from Joe Thomas, so
that was great. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
So, we have a Wisconsin burger and 2 Akron/Cleveland classics.
Oh, yes.
So, we'll do at least one bite, but if you get enticed to take a couple more, feel free. But I think we should just go in order. We'll rank them. We were going to do a blind taste test, but honestly, by the feel of the burger alone, you'd probably be able to figure out what it is.
Yes.
So, this is Swenson's burger called the Galley Boy. The Galley Boy has... man, I probably should have had that ready. Right?
Yeah. It's got a special kind of barbecue sauce that makes it...
It's a secret
that
sauce.
stands it out, correct. Right. Well, I mean, they all have good sauces, but I think the Swenson sauce is the most unique sauce.
Go get a veggie burger from there and ask for the Galley Boy sauce. Because I was vegetarian for 2 years, and I always got the Galley Boy sauce. Put it over the top.
See, now that's really smart.
Put it over the top.
That is good.
Man, there's some kind of what is it? Pickle radish or something. Did you see it?
Well, no. Two special. That's all it says. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 signature. Yeah, whatever. With 2 special sauces. The one is like a pickle type, radish, and the other is like a barbecue sauce. So, without further ado, boys, they make it fancy with an olive that I'm never going to eat because
I don't eat olives.
Exactly. But it makes it nice.
Yes.
It makes it a martini burger, if anything.
Yeah.
And if you double it up with some bacon, it keeps it in place.
So this is how exactly. This is our burger. It looks very unhealthy, and that's why our heart's gonna pop by the end of the night.
Yeah.
The sweetest thing about this burger is the juiciness. You never get dry burger from Swenson's.
Cheers,
it's always
boys.
a handful. Cheers, sir. Cheers, sir. Cheers. Let's get it. One more.
You cannot go wrong here. Yeah, please. All right.
Yeah.
Should we rank them? Let's rank them out of 10.
I agree. That's right.
Okay. Out of 10, because I'm definitely going to be revisiting this. Out of 10, I'm going to let my guests go first. Ricky, this is what you were itching for. You're back in Cleveland. Of course, we grace you with a Galley Boy. Where does it leave you?
9.2.
9.2, really high.
Strong.
But he leaves room,
love
not a
it.
rookie score. The man knows where he's at, and he gives it room just in case something tops it.
My favorite burger.
That's it.
That was a great burger. Now, granted, in the past, I liked the Skyway better, but that was such a good bite. I have to give it a 9. Like that was just a
That's a rookie
solid
score. You're lame.
I know it was. I didn't really,
9.0.
but I would do an injustice if it was anything lower than if it was an 8 point. Granted, I could have done an 8.9, but I'm giving the extra 0.1.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so I'll give it to you 9. I'm right with Ricky. I'm going with a 9.1 because personally, my heart tells me that Sky.
You're just one more than me.
Yeah, but I'm not a rookie. There's a difference here.
He said 9.0. He put the point up. As long as he put the point, it counts.
I'm gonna give it a 9. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
It is.
But are we able? I know. In like one bite we can't change it. But are we able to adjust after we take?
No, that's why you got to make sure you leave room above it.
Okay.
I'm
And
hoping
the
this.
thing is with the Galley Boy, I don't eat pickles. I hate cheese, but anytime I get a Galley Boy, everything has to be on there.
It's right.
It's only right.
Absolutely.
It matches perfect. It really does.
good.
It all comes together real well.
Yeah.
I see a nice lady running outside. Oh, here's a Galley Boy. I'll be happy. And jalapeno poppers.
Oh, so good.
So the jalapeno poppers are like fried tater tots, but they're fried jalapenos with like
potato in
cream
them.
cheese
Yeah.
and potatoes in them.
No one makes it like Swenson's.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
They'll say those.
So now we got to put it to the test. Do we come out like Jimmy Buffett? Is this a cheeseburger in paradise?
Yeah.
It's time to find out. We're gonna go to Skyway. Leave Culver's for last.
I'm for it.
This is the Skyway Burger.
I'm a little mad that Skyway stole the silver foil from Swenson's. I don't know who was out first, but I'm still giving it to Swenson's. Let's see what we got here.
So it's not as fresh, but you know,
It's got bun.
it came from Akron. So
from Akron.
what are we gonna do? But you know what?
So it's a 3-bun.
Yes.
3-bun thing. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I didn't know there was another bun in here.
It is.
All right, boys.
Interesting.
Cheers.
Let's
Cheers.
get it. Salute.
Salute. A lot more pickle flavor,
Yeah.
but man, talk about a burger.
That is just a burger. I don't know. That's just a burger
Make
right
this
there.
Now-
comfortable.
My thing with Skyway is they put brown sugar in the bun, so there's a little bit of a sweetness to it.
Cheers.
Now, Ricky,
Yeah.
it is, a little like an hour or two longer than Swenson's.
I'm putting the flavors in. It's not about the freshness. I'm literally just trying to dissect the flavors.
Right? There's like a mayo.
Yeah, like. But
Here's my thing.
Subtle sweetness. Mm-hmm. Like you said, that just kind of pulls it out a little bit.
Now, my takeaway is the Galley Boy, I was able to take a bite and stop, even though it was so good.
Yeah.
This thing is going to be taunting me the entire podcast.
really not. I just keep biting, trying to figure out how good it really is.
Yeah. It's tough.
You just make an excuse to take another bite.
That is good. No, you're right.
Okay, I got my judgment.
You got
All right.
judgment? Okay.
Ricky,
Okay.
I'm real curious.
I want to know.
I'm gonna go with a 7.9.
Oh!
Wow.
Not a fan of the double bun.
I agree with you there. Too much bread.
It is a lot of bread.
And
I didn't recognize that.
I like how it's the whole pickles. As again, I'm not a fan of pickle. So when the pickle is like incorporated and diced into something, is better for me.
Alright.
That's why I'm
Alright.
only biased.
I respect
Like
that.
No, I
So-
agree. Plus, I'm going to be honest with you. Kemp will attest to this. I don't get the signature Skyway Burger when I go there. I just get a double cheeseburger. And
Yeah.
I love it
Yeah.
because, again, that second bun,
Yeah.
or it's a bun with another piece of bread in the middle.
It does put
I'm not looking for a Big
lot
Mac.
Yeah,
of-
exactly.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. It is a lot of carbs and just an extra maybe bun. But I will say, I felt like it could have been better had we had it a little bit earlier.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
That's why I took so much, because I didn't want to bring him in on
right.
the
It was a little cold.
You know,
but I still.
So you gave it a 7.9.
9.
7.9. Kemp, where do you leave it?
It's a good ass cheeseburger. I ain't gonna lie. It's a good ass.
Well, it's funny. Kemp's over here, like, it does have a lot of carbs. Let's be honest, man. When you're plowing through cheeseburgers, 3 cheeseburgers, calories aren't really at the top of your concern.
Right, but I was just pointing out a point. Now, did that really was a factor with me? No, I'm giving that thing a 9. I'm giving that thing a 9.2. 9.2. I love that thing. I don't know.
So is this their signature burger? Is this the double?
It
Yes,
is.
that's the
It's
Skyway
their
sandwich.
signature.
Correct, that's their
Okay, see,
signature.
it doesn't taste signature to me. It tastes regular.
I agree.
Like a good ass regular.
There's no
cheeseburger.
special sauce.
Yeah.
And you know what Kemp always talks about their Skyway sauce, and to me it was just like mayo. It was like almost
That was a
flavorless.
special sauce.
But
Time out. Hold on. That's mayo, yo.
That is mayo, yo.
It's
And it's practically flavorless.
It's more of a Thousand Island.
Okay.
Okay.
It is kind of like a Big Mac. That's what it is. That is. So it has a mayo texture.
See, here's what kills
mayo
me:
consistency.
is in my heart, Skyway's above Galley Boys,
kinda get it now? Yeah.
above Swenson's, but that Galley Boy,
That's fire. But as I said, that is
fire.
a good ass cheeseburger.
that's right.
Yeah,
If it was
true.
but for a signature cheeseburger, I
Right.
don't see the signature.
Okay.
See, here's what's killing me.
Okay.
I'm gonna come out with an 8.9, knowing that my double cheeseburger would be a 9.2 and beat the Galley Boy.
Yeah.
It's just this. I haven't had a Skyway burger.
Okay.
Kemp talks about it. I tried it. Man,
Well, I will say, that is not to mess anything up, but that is the Sky High sandwich, which is great, and that's their signature. But for me, I always get the skyscraper, which is 3 patties. Don't judge me on my size of the patties and amount of patties, but it's just they add an extra one and they don't use the bun in the middle.
Then I'll
what?
fuck
So
with
it's just
that heavy.
3. Okay,
I would fuck
that
with that
beats
heavy.
that beats a Galley Boy
Yeah.
in my mind.
So-
the other bun.
But no, that's just one of their signature. But this is their signature thing. So I always get it as a side. I always get their big thing, and then of course I have to get this, and I always eat it after.
Plus, I just gotta say, adding that extra bun is kind of what did it in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
too much like a Big Mac. You nailed it. Wait,
I don't know.
all right, guys.
I got
last
real
one.
quick off it.
Culver's. We're just stuffing ourselves here.
Nah,
This is their butter burger.
this looks
double.
like a commercial.
This does look very
It actually
commercial-esque.
does look very good.
Isn't as fresh either, but still, I'm willing to dive in. Bacon. Oh, baby. Cheers, boys. Salute.
This already's cheating though. Like there's bacon on here. That's alright.
That is so true.
You know,
That's
like
true.
I'm gonna take a bite without the bacon.
Bro.
Hold on.
So the bun, obviously, is a little old, right? Mm-hmm. Fresher, the bun wouldn't have been as stale. But Ricky nailed it, man. Them having bacon changes literally the game.
That smokiness
It
from the bacon.
adds another level. Yeah.
And the burger patty is so much like Steak and Shake. I like those pressed, thin, skinny burgers. Dude.
Bro. Wow.
Let's acknowledge
Tastes
this.
like real beef, y'all.
For real. Let's acknowledge one thing. This alone, especially if it was fresh,
Right.
bacon changes the game.
It does. Bacon does change the game.
Oh my god.
It elevates any burger. Like
That is.
had to
That's quite good.
take out my first bite.
Good. Wow.
But
Is that your first time going to Culver's?
I've had a Culver's burger before. A long time ago. I don't remember it. I will say I had their ice cream today, and that is fire.
Yes.
Their ice cream is fire.
They had, so their flavor of the day was turtle ice cream. We're talking walnuts, caramel.
I love turtle pecans. Ooh.
Oh, that was it. Pecans.
Yeah.
Creme de la creme.
It was good.
Man. Oh, that's what. So my comment is this. Let's acknowledge that these scores are really high for a reason. Right. If we had a Whopper here compared to this,
a Whopper's good, but it's not one of these.
Wouldn't hold a candle to this.
Wouldn't taste like real beef.
No.
That's true, too. What is it, their Impossible Whopper?
Oh no, that's
trash.
That's fake. That's fake meat.
Trash.
That's fake meat, but.
All right, so, Ricky, give us a score, and then kind of break down what comes first and why.
Okay, so this was a bacon on steroids. That's burger on steroids because of the bacon. The beef was good. Like, it's good. It's a good-ass cheeseburger. It's a good-ass bacon cheeseburger. It's good as fuck. It's not nothing special. It's just, ketchup and mustard?
No.
Traditional. So, I love tradition, so I'll definitely give it an 8.7.
I like it.
Wow, that's a solid score.
Strong score. And higher than Skyway.
It is.
Yes.
So you had Swenson's first, Culver's second, Skyway last.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it just tastes like a regular burger.
That's right.
Like,
True.
I don't
No pickles, none of the nonsense.
the pickles and stuff is on there, but I don't eat pickles and stuff. So like,
Oh, I thought you were talking about Culver's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got
yeah.
pickle
I
in
don't
here.
think
Oh, did they?
yeah, I got pickle and onion.
Oh, okay.
I had a pickle and onion. I took it out because I don't.
Man,
eat
they
pickle and
killed
onion.
me. Oh, okay. I have one pickle.
Yeah,
And I
one
didn't
pickle
even
as
get to
well.
it yet.
So that's a big no-no. If you like pickle, that's
This is like the
just extra,
SpongeBob
extra.
episode. Like, I didn't get any pickle.
Give me the regular, and this time, don't forget the pickles. I didn't. Still no pickles. See? You failed again, SpongeBob loser pants. Wait a minute! Look! He's been hiding the pickles under his tongue the whole time.
And there's the pickles from last time, too.
And there's my car keys.
Oh my! I knew it made it with a pickle. I would never forgot the pickle. Oh my god! Perfect. 8.7.
8.7. I like it. Kemp, give us a score and then break down your ranking.
This is tough now because
It is.
that was just such a good bite. I don't know. Like I said, it was just a very base burger, but again, the bacon added to it. But I will say, I think I actually like the burger on the Swenson or on the Skyway and the Swenson's a little bit better. But it was.
You talking like the burger patty?
the burger patty?
Yes.
Yeah.
The bun was. Ugh.
Yeah. The bun definitely made it hard.
I have. As good as this is, I got to give it an 8.8.
Okay.
It was good, delicious, but it didn't have anything signature other than the bacon, which the bacon made it the 8.8. That's what made it. So, but yeah, I got to stick with my 8.8.
Because without the bacon, I think this would have been
Right.
a lot lower.
Yeah.
Because this is a regular ass bun that
Right.
wipe a little butter on and toast it.
But
That is exactly it.
like I said, it beats of any fast food.
Yes.
I think.
True that.
I agree. You know, this is the opposite of where I would have expected my scores to come out.
Right.
But I'm going to give this not because I'm a rookie, but because of ordering sakes. I'm going to give it a 9.0.
Wow.
Simply because I gave an 8.9 and a 9.1, and that puts this at a 9.0. So for me, the Galley Boy does take the cake in terms of signature burgers.
Yes.
Because we're not talking about Skyway, just a regular burger. These are their signature burgers.
Yeah.
And like Kemp said, Culver's doesn't really have anything signature.
Yeah.
Finally, I made it to the middle. I took one extra bite there at the end to get some pickle and everything else. It's a good burger, but there's nothing special about
And the beef is really good.
Right.
Yes.
Right. No,
Really
it was a smash burger, so like it was. You tasted the crispy edges were delicious.
Yes.
Facts. So, without a doubt, Skyway's got the best bun, but their signature burger just doesn't.
Hold on.
Wait, that's is that the Galley Boy?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's.
No, that's Skyway.
This is Galley Boy. Now, you saying Skyway has the best bun? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. It's not even flaky on top like
You know what's
Galley
funny?
Boy,
If you look at them, they look very similar.
They are very similar. They are.
Look at
There's
the
just no
flakiness. That's like-
middle bun. Yeah, there is no middle bun, and then different sauces.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The greasiness of that middle bun does kill it.
Yes.
So again, Skyway's signature burger does end up ranking last for me.
Right.
Galley Boy takes the cake, but nonetheless, let's all concede these are 3 high-end burgers.
People, do not get me wrong. This Skyway Burger is not like McDonald's or nothing like. This is a good ass burger.
Right.
But when it comes to Swenson's, not like, hey, like, gotta step up, bro.
That's it. I couldn't agree more.
That's very good. They're all delicious.
So, Jimmy Buffett, we're just going to tell you, you don't know anything. Listen to us kids in Cleveland, and we're going to tell you that the real winner is Swenson's. Facts.
I'm pretty sure he had a Coke with it. That's
Wait,
why.
which one did you have win?
Well, I had Skyway win, but it was such a close thing. Because of if I'm outvoted, I will concede. And
No.
say that
No.
Swenson's-
You
And
got to
see,
give your opinion.
With Jimmy
No.
Buffett as well, like, this
But-
is a
but-
traditional burger too. Cheeseburger,
Right.
Coca-Cola,
I will-
fries, bomb.
I
Right
will
here.
say
That's a good
The
point.
only thing is that Jimmy Buffett, they are going to make him the freshest, the most.
That's true.
Yes.
Like Dave Portnoy getting like a special
on
pizza.
point burger.
Very true.
And we are just getting an hour with one sitting there for an hour, one sitting here for 30 minutes. So
Well, let's acknowledge this.
but-
Kemp bought the burgers at 3. We started the podcast at 6.
yeah, it's been a little bit.
But it's a good burger though. Like,
It is a good burger.
It is.
That's the thing. It is a good burger, and for me,
Put the patty on the Galley Boy.
Yeah, like
I
this is
taste
what I
it.
mean. Like, I can squeeze this, no juice. Squeeze this, there's extra juice coming out of Galley Boy.
I'm with
like,
you.
like it's.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm
I feel
smelling
like
what you're
Galley
stepping
Boy
in, man.
cover it and make it steam
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there. Like, I don't know what it is.
You're right. I like I said, the Skyway would just makes it is that sweetness. There's a little bit of sweetness in that sauce, but I will say that the Swenson sauce, there's nothing that will replicate it.
I agree.
Yo, if Skyway had Swenson sauce, that would be cheated.
Yes. Yes.
That would be cheated. That would be cheated.
Because again, I think
like-
Ricky nailed it. That they don't have. There's nothing special about. Like, there's no sauce. It's just a regular burger. But for a regular burger,
It's good.
It's very good. I'm sticking with what I'm saying. My Skyway wins for me. Close second is Swenson.
I would take that just a close second for Swenson's.
I love it.
I would take it for Swenson because it's a good comp. It was good.
Oh yeah.
I was just a little biased on that.
So in conclusion,
I'll give you that.
do yourself a favor and try at least one of these burgers. You should definitely try to get yourself a Culver's, a Swenson's, or a Skyway ASAP Rocky.
Absolutely.
You're in the inner city of Cleveland. I heard there's a new Swenson's on Cedar. It might
Really?
It's not gonna be the same. I promise you. Because I told my friend like, "Yo, there's a Swenson's on Cedar." And he's like, "Hell no! I need to go to Broadview Road. I need to go to Broadview Road." Well, I'm just saying, it's there. And if you can't make it out here, it's there. It's there.
So that's it. No more excuses. Find yourself one.
Yep.
Okay, guys. So starting off with some true conversation, I want to get your guys' opinion. There's this gentleman, Paul Harvey, who was a commentator in the 60s, and he was an entertainer, commentator, and he pretty much called where we're at right now in the world. It is really creepy how in the 60s he was able to predict where we would be. Yeah. So I want to get your guys' response and thoughts on a speech that he wrote called If I Were the Devil. So it's 3 minutes long. We're going to listen to this real quick, and then I'd like to get your guys' comments.
If I were the devil. If I were the devil. If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey.
Okay, so, yes, there is like a religious undertone to it, but it does seem very interesting that, again, you know, me and Ricky did way back in the day a conspiracy podcast and everything else, and it's like, man, if you wanted to take this country down and pin us against each other, the best way would to be to demolish all the familial pillars that we rely on. So, family, church, business, whatever it is, we are, and we're seeing it crumble around us. So, what are your thoughts? I'm curious.
Yo, sad. My thoughts is sad. Like, history just keep repeating this. People always say this over and over. I'm just gonna be a part of it. Like, history just keep repeating itself over and over. And those one few people that's trying to separate themselves from. You only can control so much. So you trying to separate yourself and trying to do something different, it's only gonna affect you so much because of everything else around you. So it's like, it's just sad that not even time has changed within technology and shit, but the mentality is really implemented now, and it was implemented back then. It started from back then with TV and everything. So it's just weird. It's sad. I don't know.
And it's only getting worse. You nailed it. It started here, and it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, like when you're trying to, like I said, you're going about your life trying to do. So you're trying to be successful, and you have your own narrative, but then there's the other factors that you can't control, and then they, like I said, it's then the religion and the media and everyone else that is then trying to get you to go one. They're trying to point you to one direction or the other, and they're trying to pin us against each other. And like you said, and that guy Paul Harvey was, like you said, it did have religious undertones, but it was basically saying that we're gonna just keep making these distinctions of we're gonna point you in the wrong direction. We're gonna make everyone hate each other in the right and basically just make you go against from your own path, from your own narrative, and they're trying to distract you from that. I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's 100%, and even furthermore, it's I think what we look at as good or things to strive for, kind of like what Kemp is saying, it's all misdirecting us from. Again, not to say the Bible has all the answers, but I think look at all the different religions, right? Mm-hmm. Islam, Judaism, Catholicism, Buddhism, all these different religions. What's crazy is back in the day before globalism and increased technology, these pockets of religions and cultures and everything, they were created on their own but had a lot of overlap. Killing is bad. Rape is bad. Stealing is bad. So there's something to be said about the human experience has an innate moral compass.
Yes.
And
very true.
they have switched the poles on us and turned our compass completely out of whack to 180. Yeah. So where what you think is up is down and what is good is bad. And that's what we're seeing today. I mean...
Another fact, like, you know how you grow up and you get told this is bad, and you get more attracted to it, not because you want to do it, but you're intrigued. Right. So you growing up and being told, don't watch this show, don't do this, not even from your family, from society, like, this is not acceptable, that's not acceptable. It's like a mind game for real, because people like to rebel, and they know people are going to rebel and do the opposite. Right. So... When it comes, oh damn, Skyway?
Skyway? It's fighting back, man. Skyway's back.
Yeah. But like, I forgot my thought. But it's just,
well, like I said, you see contradicting. Sometimes you see contradicting where this is. You see, you're being told, oh, this is good, and this is like. But then society might come in and just goes, oh well, this. If you do this, then this is bad, and that's where, like I said, you. And as a young kid, you're just, like I said, you're just one big canvas, and you're trying to be told, you're kind of being directed, and that's where, like I said, it's.
And they're using reverse psychology as well.
Yeah.
Like, so it's tricky, man. It's sad. It's sad as fuck. 1965 to 2020, like that is very sad.
And it's only gotten worse, right? Nothing's changed. It's only gotten worse. And what stinks now is where we're headed in society today. It seems like you almost have no function in this society unless you are a victim or you're offended. And so everybody, it's the victimization Olympics. People are trying to find the most niche like, I don't know, group to call themselves. I'm not just Asian. I'm a gay Asian who's a woman. It's like, how many boxes can you check? And that is working right now as like a social currency, and people are so afraid that they are just chopping people at the knees so it doesn't happen to them.
How we're just all human race. So like, I don't remember her name. The blue eye, black eye experiment. She just said, I don't remember her name. So we're just all the freaking human race, yo.
I'm gonna put the link in the bio, so make sure you check it out in the description here. But there's a YouTube video, again, same woman that Ricky's talking about.
So it's like, and it's not really us putting these division on us. It's like society, literally. Society's putting these. You're gay. Why can't you just be human? Like, live your life. Whoever you want to be, you can be gay or whatever. Right. No one really. No, right. We respect you. Just we respect you.
At that point, like I said.
So you don't need all these other labels to define your character. Right. If that makes sense.
No, you're 100%.
Right, and like I said, like if you are gay, great. Like that, like I said, I am proud of
live your life.
Right, of you coming out and doing that stuff. Right, exactly. But then there's other people that go, oh, I hate that. Well, that's the thing. You have to respect them for doing what they want. But then at that point, you just have to have a conversation about it, and you have to. And granted, it's not like going to be, but. Obviously violence, and you can't just go attack that person personally. At that point, you just understand their perspective. Right, exactly. And it's just being a human being. That's.
I never find the fascination of someone want to attack someone based off how they choose to live their life or they're based off where they're from or the color of their skin. Like, he had nothing to do with you. Like, what is he really doing to affect you?
Right,
Like, you're really putting that on yourself to make it feel something.
Right,
so, like, if you want to be kind to someone, be kind to someone. If not, just keep it moving.
Yeah, right. No, you're 100%.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing, Ricky, is the biggest problem is when you label someone the other because of an immutable characteristic. Our hair is a different color, our skin is a different color, our sex is different, whatever it is, what we believe or what we want in the world is different. When you label them the other, these immutable characteristics only...
Gross.
Exactly.
Gross.
And again, they're immutable, so they literally don't matter.
And you mentioned this in one of your podcasts a couple of weeks ago, the cancel culture. Like, when you cancel someone, yo, I'm going to want to see what he's up to. You feel me?
Right.
I'm going to want to be like, what's up? Just like society keep telling you, yo, dress this way, go to church. Like, you're going to want to be like, hey, I can go out, I can wear this and still have all my beliefs in my heart and everything. Like, so if you don't want to listen to someone, don't waste your time and energy trying to cancel someone. Just don't focus your energy on that.
I'm glad you brought
agree.
that up because this is something wild. I'm going to tell you a story. A girl that went to law school with me, she just graduated. She comes across a post on Facebook, okay, from a stranger in Florida. She has no idea who this person is. I have no idea who this person is. The woman posts that again, I'm not going to do it justice. I'm going to put it on the screen here so you can read it exactly. But it was along the lines of, you're allowed to be offended, but also I'm offended that you've come to our country. And so again, her verbiage of saying, well, you've come to our country, that's what triggered everybody. But she was saying, well, I'm allowed to take your offensive as well. You know what this girl I went to school with? She took it upon herself to start a movement. I shit you not, 10,000 people are doxing this woman, and her life is ruined. They're going after her job. When you go after someone's livelihood, if you don't think that's going to breed more hate, that's incredible. You don't even know this woman. You don't know what provoked her to say that.
And the right to feel however she wants to feel.
Right.
It's you, the one that's taking up on yourself to get distracted by it.
Yes. And when you finally have the opportunity to talk to people, you learn that you pretty much agree. There's not a difference here.
Well, nowadays, like you said, it's the first thing you want to do, or like the general sense is, oh, I'm gonna post it on media, I'm gonna blast it out. I want to get everyone where. Granted, could she, or if she didn't agree with her, do you think she could have went to personally directed message her and just could
have a conversation?
Just be like, hey, I disagree with what you say. I mean, like I said, granted, there's so many different ways of doing it, but rather than almost ruin this woman's life, you could have just went to a personal complaint and just talked to her about it, and then at that point, something may maybe have different change, and rather than ruining or trying to
you probably would have changed her mind. You probably would have enlightened something. You probably would have educated her.
Right,
and
exactly,
if it didn't change her mind, don't waste your energy on it. Waste your energy on someone else that wants your energy, wants you to show them something different.
So I got a real question for you guys, and I'd love to hear your answer. A genuine question. This is me trying to liberate myself from my ignorance and grow. In a society, we all are trying to live with each other and tolerate each other, so you got to have rules and stuff and standards. My question is, what is worse? I'm genuinely curious. What is worse? If not me, if a person posts on Facebook something provocative, let's say they say something really bad, right? They say a slur or something. Like, I'm taking it worse than what this woman posted. What's worse, saying that or taking away someone's livelihood, taking away their job, taking away their ability to fend for themselves, support their family? I'm genuinely curious. In terms of what's more evil, Because in my opinion, when I look at what this girl I went to school with did, it couldn't have been more wrong, right? This person should be allowed to do this, and even if you disagree, it doesn't make them a bad person worth losing their life.
Right.
So to me, this is murder while still being alive. I didn't kill you. You're going to sit there and suffer.
And if you call yourself an American, what's the First Amendment?
Right.
Boom. Oh, yeah. the thing that there's a war on. There's a war on the First Amendment.
There's a difference between freedom of speech and ignorance.
That's a great point too, Ricky.
You know, so like, don't waste, don't waste your energy on unwanted shit. That's the simplest way I like to wild things down to the simplest thing. Don't waste your energy. If you don't like CNN, stay the fuck away from CNN. If you're not open-minded enough, just stay away from it. Right. No one want to hear you complain. If you're complaining and have something valid to say, sure, we'll hear your opinion. But, like, don't be hating me because I don't want to hear it. Or don't hate me because I don't agree with it.
Right.
Couldn't agree more.
Right. Like I said, every conversation is constructive until someone gets hurt on the end. Until there's some kind of suffering or
Alex always say this in every conversation of dialect.
That factor is correct.
There's always going to be like not even tension, but there's always going to be like uneasiness.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be uneasy on certain topics. Not every conversation. On certain topics, you're supposed to be uneasy.
Right.
You're
That's
supposed to
where
have a
growth
different.
happens.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Growth
supposed to have a
happens
different
there.
opinion. Like I don't know that. People, simple your life. Yeah. Don't waste your energy on shit you don't want. If it gets you slightest upset, I don't feel like you should waste your time in it. If you want to take it up on yourself and go like your friend, Cam said, you should went to the lady and say something. You know, why are you try to pick her mind apart? Why are you doing this? Why did he say this? If she something stupid,
right? Exactly.
Then you know there's no.
You want to at that point go to then deliberately ruin her life but
not even then. Like Ricky's saying, at that point, just realize this person's a lost cause. Nothing good is coming from this. There are some people who are just lost causes, right? And the way here's the problem though, is when you have a big net of hate and cancel culture, what you're doing is good people who are just wanting to grow but are motivated by fear right now get swept up in a net that throws them away, dismisses them, and so again, I have no problem when
with a friend now that started a 10,000 movement against this woman. This woman can have 20,000 now because people. I would look at her like, even if I didn't agree with, she's saying she's just a regular person. Why are you attacking her? If you didn't like her, block her. Get the fuck. Don't go destroy.
You don't even know her. She's on the other. We are in Ohio, or she's in Pennsylvania. Florida is the other side of the country. What are you doing caring about someone else's opinion on the other side of the country you don't even know?
If y'all want to cancel culture, cancel me.
Bring it on, baby.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So to add into the conversation, Ricky brought up a really good topic that, again, it stinks that, all this stuff circulating right now, because our culture really is on pins and needles. It's disappointing this video hasn't surfaced. And again, I think it's because it doesn't further the divide, and it only brings us closer. But there's this woman named Jane Elliott. She had a program called The Eye of the Storm. It was a program that she created, and she was a motivational speaker. She'd go across the country, and it's this old white woman, and there is nobody more against races in real life. Not you, Antifa, holding down Seattle, Capitol Hill mofos. She actually just doesn't like unnecessary hate on immutable characteristics. So I only say all of that because Jane Elliott, this video that's in the link, The Eye of the Storm, she does this incredible experiment. It is amazing. And let's be honest, it's only something you could get away with in the 60s. Yeah. So what did she do? She was teaching in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
And the first week, she sits all the kids down, and she goes, all the kids with glasses are stupid. All the kids wearing blue shirts get to go to the front of the line. And she would rattle off all these all the short kids have to go to the back of the line. All of these rules. And then she let these rules play out for the week. And she saw just naturally in these children hate, stereotypes, prejudice, being created off of things that don't mean anything. Immutable characteristics. Immutable, guys, means that you can mute it and it means nothing. So these immutable characteristics, she saw kids going, "Oh, you're stupid because you have glasses." Miss Elliott said all of this stuff. Second week rolls around and she flips it all on its head. She goes, people with glasses are the smart ones in the room. People who are short get to go to the front of the line. And then she watched the room flip. Now all those kids are like, you're stupid. And so it goes to show how all of this is literally manufactured and non-existent.
Yeah.
And
right.
with it being manufactured, it's like everyone was raised different, and you could be raised in the most horrible way, but there comes once in someone's life where you got to choose, like, how you really want your character to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to have hate from childhood, for not even from you, but from parents or society or something, like, it comes to a point where you just have to, like, either strap up and do the right thing and get through this, or I'm just going to succumb to it.
Right.
No, you're 100% right.
And after this one, she did the blue eye, brown eye experiment with the older college kids.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that was in Eye Color was a part of the other one too. But she does it with college kids too. I'll put that link in here too. I'm going to have to watch that one. I mean, again, she is so impactful, and I think that's why you're only seeing divisive videos surface and not this, right?
And that's where people just got to get away from the typical media that's controlled by like 5 people in this fucking world.
You're right,
get away
though.
from it.
You nailed it.
Controlled by
Go do your own research. It's not hard. You have this powerful thing in your hand that's called a cell phone. You got this thing called Google. You just type in a little words. You scroll. There's different articles. You can hit them, read to. You know.
Well, that's the thing. Of course, the first ones are going to be the first ones that pop up are always the ones that are going to bring out the most reactions. They're either one side or the
clickbaits.
Other. Correct. Yeah. Of course.
So you just gotta scroll. Hit the first one. Go to the freaking 10th page. Hit the first one on the 10th page.
You know what Google did though?
That's
This is crazy. I want you guys to notice now. Go to Google, and they took away the ability. You know how it used to say GOOGLE?
They did.
You can't just click to page 10 now. You literally have to scroll through everything. It's all one page, and you can load more at the bottom.
2, 3,
they got rid of that. That way, they could control you just that little bit more.
And this is
as if they couldn't do it enough already.
always have multiple sources of information.
That's the key. That is the key. But again, people, you know what's funny is Facebook, if you look, every article on there says approximately, in parentheses, approximately 2-minute read, approximately 4-minute read. And it's on race relations in Houston. It's like that topic is way too complicated to have been done in 3 minutes in a 3-minute read. Because what is our society turning into?
Quick.
It's title. We are title readers and nothing more. If this title says what I'm trying to prove, then bingo. And that's what we rely on.
Right. Well, it's just like I said, the print and the newspaper that's disappearing. No one's reading the newspaper anymore. Everyone's going online. And now you gotta obviously pay for a bunch of stuff, and people in our generation doesn't want to do that. Like they don't.
And the best stories come from the local newspapers.
Yeah,
for real.
The best stories too.
You have the people on the floor.
Reporter, right? That has a story that just gets thrown in the 5th page, but it gets lost.
They're actually on the floor. They're not They're not CNN. They're not out there just taking the story. If you listen to a lot of breaking news. Oh, our correspondent out of Ohio on CTV radio. And they always, local information is the best information. Your local newspaper give you all your information, I promise you. Somehow, if y'all can, in a small community, donate something. Just keep the writers around on their beat. That you find out corruption, you find out local elections and stuff like that from your local paper. You're not going to get that from the national news. Not even from your late night news, because they're just trying to even the word clickbait, like they're just trying to keep your little attention. Oh, what time you gotta get up in the morning? Like, I didn't know it took that long to tell me the weather. Like, dude,
100%. And you know what's funny is the Freemasons, who could be pulling the strings behind a lot of this stuff, goes their motto is with chaos comes order, because they want to create chaos so they can bring the order.
Yeah.
Now, look what's going on. I'm going to bring up a story. I'm going to make a point, and if you don't, I would love to have a true conversation. But a Florida protester, Oluwatoyin Salau, killed in Tallahassee. It's a woman after going missing. Okay, so this poor woman was protesting. She goes missing. Her family's looking everywhere for her, and she's lying dead in the streets, killed by a man. She was 19 years old. Another activist at the protest killed her. Now, I just want to say one thing. She's at a protest to defund and get rid of the police. Well, she's dead in the streets, and who is the first person her parents call?
Right. The police.
The police. That's where we keep coming back to. So they've convinced you we need to get rid of police, we need to defund the police, but the same crazies, again, pulling the strings and stuff, Mr. Bernie Sanders, he'll look at you and say, we can defund Wall Street and tax them 2%, and that'll pay for health care for everybody for free.
Because it was like 24 hours, she came out accusing a man of sexually assaulting her. And 24 hours later, she was dead.
Yes, it is insane, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just read that shit last night. Wow.
It's extremely sad. And it again, the only reason I bring this up is the same person protesting against it's a disillusion. It's a disillusion. These people don't even know what they truly want. I'm telling you, if we were vetting police officers like we did the military,
correct,
we would not be having this problem. We have I know I said this to you before, but if I failed law school, I could be a cop.
Yes.
So it's a higher standard to defend you against the law than to be the law. That's messed up. It should be the highest standard possible.
Right.
I don't feel like defunding the police is the right way. You think you have police out of your community already? Imagine when you have these state troopers that's way out of your shit coming into your shit. This nigga, that's just one aspect of it.
Right.
Like, why not you say put the money somewhere else where cops can get better training, better education,
Put the money into training.
Like, you know, like,
Yep.
you can't defund the cops, man. Like,
Am I going to argue against flushing out the cops and starting anew? Hell no. I truly think, okay, they tell you once you reach like 70, you got to keep coming back and going and taking your driver's license test because we want to know that you still have the capability. Well, following that same logic, I don't really feel comfortable with a 50-year-old cop who was, man, he was sharp when he was 21.
Yes.
He was able to run the physical challenge, and he was able to pass. I want you to pass again.
Yep.
You were sitting in that donut parking lot quite a bit. I want you to prove to me that you could still outrun a perpetrator, so then you don't need your gun.
yep.
Right.
And that's the problem we're at. So for me, it's like we're backwards. Throw more money at it, but don't take from school. When you see the memes that are like, what defunding the police means is taking from the police and putting it in schools and this, that. I am not going to argue. Schools, everything else, the community, yes, it needs more money.
Different separate issue though. Like,
Exactly.
why? No, that's so.
Go after your tax orchestrators who are giving it. Again, when we're getting a $1,200 buyout because we're all getting a $1,200 check from Daddy Trump because the world has stopped and we're on lockdown, why are corporations getting trillions of dollars? Right. Those are the dollars you got to go after to protect your community and make your school system better.
Yes.
Not the police, because they're only going to get worse. It's insane. How about this one? I got one more story for you. The Seattle, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone.
Right.
You're familiar with that? Yeah. So the Autonomous Zone in Seattle, there was a restaurant 2 blocks out of the Autonomous Zone. Yeah. And it was on the news. The Autonomous Zone leaders were talking, and they're saying everybody here loves us. They just love us. All the restaurants and businesses, they're so happy to have us here. And then it cuts to this restaurant where the restaurant owners caught a man throwing Molotov cocktails at their store to try to set it on fire. They themselves apprehended the gentleman, called the police for an hour. The police were like, yeah, we're not coming anywhere near that shit. No, it's all you. And then the Autonomous Zone comes to the restaurant and says, no, you're going to give them to us and we will properly apprehend the man. And if you don't, then we're going to destroy your restaurant.
That's
That's
move to
anarchy.
barbaric
yeah,
days, man.
that's total chaos. That's too much chaos in
the barbaric
a world that needs order.
There needs to be order. There needs to be law and order, but the way the law and order implements, that's what we need to focus on. How they implement the law and order.
Right.
Like, I don't feel after every shooting, yo, there should be the camera footage should be out for the public. This law under the 8 defund law that hide their fucking shit, their records and shit. They're a public servant. Everything should be for the public, so we can get the bad ones out of here and keep the good ones in.
Right.
There's more transparency. People be on their P's and Q's. People want to be doing ignorant shit and be thinking they can get away with it because they can write their report and say it's their word and their word is majority gonna be heard. Like, so just be more fucking transparent. Not say, oh, we're gonna release this shooting video after 1 week or a month. After that shit happens, there should be a different board. That's no cops, lawyers, prosecutors, and defense attorney. There should be a different board of 5 people that goes through this shit every day. This should be their 9 to 5. A regular citizen should be a part of it 9 to 5 every day. This is what they do. Review cases from officers.
No, it should be like a jury. It should be a jury of your peers. I wouldn't be opposed to... I was actually doing a thought experiment with my uncle, and we were trying to see what a good system would look like. In theory, what I would propose is you have to have a balance, just like a real jury. You've got the defense and the prosecutor get to vet the jury to pick and choose who is on the jury. They bring in a pool of 30 people. They whittle it down to like 12. What you do is you have a representative from the police force, right? So like the police chief or the attorneys for the police. And then you have your city council, people that we can vote in.
Yes.
And then
vote, but that always get destroyed.
Well, hold on. And then these two people, these two entities, get a pool of 30 people, like you said, not lawyers, not police officers. It's your mechanic. It's your waitress. It's your stripper. I don't care who it is.
Well, that's the thing.
And you do it for a month.
Because if we keep them in, it's going to be corruption.
Right.
It's going to be like a...
It should always be new people.
Power.
Always. And I'm going to be honest with you, that should be our system right now.
Yes.
Say what you will about the Zodiac killer Ted Cruz, all you want, but that dude is the only man in Congress right now arguing for term limits. Rest of Congress is like, no.
Yeah.
I want my cushy job for life, baby cakes. He's the only one saying that your job needs to be limited. That's what's corrupting you.
So with this politics thing, where you just say term limits, what age is the right age to be a president, and what age is not the right age to be a president?
It's a touchy subject. I don't even know if we should have a president, to be honest, right? Well, I think there's a good subject or a good system, like in the UK, where you have a parliament, right? Like where it's just a group of humans, not career politicians. Boom.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. The president thing, because I'm going to be honest with you too, this is the lawyer bias that I have, but you know what I'd rather be than the president? Is a Supreme Court justice. Even though your power is divided among 9, what you decide is law, not checked by someone else. No balances. I mean, yes, but the balance is the case has to be in front of you. But when you that's the most powerful.
Until you're dead.
And look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That woman is Emperor Palpatine being held alive by machines. That woman is dead, and it's like you. How about this?
Did she just voted on the recent bill that just passed?
Yeah. So think about this. When you have Mark Zuckerberg in front of Congress, you know what's super helpful? Having someone like us, who is 26 years old and had it since they were 12. So when Zuckerberg, who's one of the most powerful people in the world, is sitting in front of them, instead of spending the hours trying to figure out what's a like, what do shares do? So what's on the news feed? How does it get on the news? How about we skip all that and get to the brass tacks? Why are you manipulating my news feed? Notice they took away on Instagram. It isn't in chronological order anymore. It's what they think you want to see.
Really?
Oh yeah, they got rid of that a few years ago. Now it's.
I thought it was Facebook.
Facebook does that too. Facebook did it first.
And they redid it. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I stay off Facebook. My Facebook is all happy thoughts.
Dude, when you
no one believes me, it's all happy thoughts because I would see the article and I just scroll past it. I won't click it. Like I'll see
Right,
something that's
smart.
like inspiring, and then I'll click on it and read that shit. Like,
Right.
but my Facebook is literally happy thoughts. Even though I might have 1 or 2 friends that post them shit. Like, hey, it's okay. It's your platform. Fan on it. I don't care. But like, if I don't want to see it, I'll block you. Like, you know, it's just simple.
Yeah.
Like, but it's all happy thoughts, and I don't see when people say it's negative. And until I went to someone else's Facebook, under Facebook, it was
And
just
you
like
realize-
riot,
Right.
gays,
Of course.
this
They're
and
gonna
that. I'm like, yo, how is this possible? Like, I don't know.
Push that.
Because I read everything.
Right.
I watch everything. So I don't. This algorithm, I don't know.
But look at a man, straight up murder, killed a man on the other side of this country, and you're fighting with your neighbor, right? Like your Facebook friend, your Instagram friend. You're yelling at them. It's so misdirected. We had this conversation in the last podcast, you and I. And Kemp joined. It was one of those like we are attacking the wrong entities here.
Right.
Kemp, what were you gonna say?
No, well, like I said, it was just one side's just saying, obviously, he murdered that guy, which he did, but then the other one's saying, hey, I'm relatives with cops, so don't be attacking cops. Like, so it's...
And that's where I'm at. I'm
right.
good friends with cops.
Right, absolutely.
I have bad experience and great experience with cops. But what he did, like, take your bias out of it.
Yes.
Right,
What,
right,
you know,
right.
like, you be human.
Yeah.
See this shit.
Yeah.
No, I think Foster in the last podcast
he said
nailed it.
Yeah,
He
he
goes,
nailed it.
if
Yeah.
it was a person who killed another person, even if, you would still see a trial. You are arrested on the spot.
Yep.
But because the person is a cop, and again, we need to recognize cops are not these omniscient beings. They are
the judge.
humans
And
with
they're not the
human
jury.
flaws.
And they're not
Bingo.
the executioner. So, like...
Right.
Then that goes back to our review board. Like, if you have a review board, that man would be in jail the very fucking next day.
Yes.
Even though he should have been arrested at the
absolutely,
freaking same time,
absolutely,
he would have been
absolutely,
arrested the next day.
absolutely.
You're 100% right.
Like, so...
And I think the review board should be also able to pull in because right now the prosecutor has totally unchecked power.
Yes.
Where he gets to make. I'm gonna derail us from the racial subject
You know,
real
I just
quick.
watched with
What's
the
that?
prosecutor was real corrupt. Jeffrey Epstein.
Thank you. I was just gonna bring
I
up.
just finished it last night,
Now,
yo.
how wild
I'm
is
on
it?
3 or 4,
Alexander
yeah.
Acosta. That name will never leave me because that was the most egregious, gross
They're saying
misuse
they didn't
of
have
power.
evidence. And they're laying out evidence on the
everything-
show.
Right.
Like,
And-
evidence. Like, they're showing paperwork. They're showing documents.
It's physical.
So what happened was Alexander Acosta was a prosecutor in Florida. The police chief, the local police chief, and the defense attorneys for these multiple women were trying to press charges against Epstein for child molestation.
40.
And they had proof that he had sex with these girls. But the question is, how much money was it? What did they have on Alexander Acosta? Who knows?
Yeah,
But instead of charging him with child molestation, it was procuring prostitution. So this dude, and the
18
worst
months.
part of all is the day they show up for trial, the girls are sitting there, they finally shuffle in Jeffrey, they're ready to see a trial,
They
see
let
this
him out.
man get prosecuted. He gets brought to the front of the room, signs a couple papers, and they shuffle him right out the back. He made a deal that nobody in this country has ever made before,
Right.
and nothing similar has ever been seen before, and he was given a deal that not only is he given immunity,
Right.
but all co-conspirators, which to somebody that doesn't understand the law, co-conspirators is literally anybody in the tree of involvement. Anybody, no matter how low. The fact that all co-conspirators get full immunity as well, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is so egregious. And so again, guess who is a real cause for a poor black man getting killed innocently in the middle of the street? Not Bill, your Facebook friend.
Right.
It is prosecutors, police chiefs, and again, this is where
Yeah.
I think the narrative
Very
really
true.
gains weight. Yes, it is systemic. But guess who's not a part of the system? Your friend.
Yep.
Your friend.
Very true. All he's doing is just
Right.
sharing his opinion, trying to piss you off, trying to distract you. That's all he's doing.
A bunch of people are just thrown in the
their own 2 cents.
Their own 2 cents, right? And they're just trying to burn the pile even bigger.
That's it. And you got to think about it. The people that's throwing in their 2 cents, people do throw in good information, do have good says, but like you can see from a mile, y'all. You can see from a mile. You see when it get ready, when the bullshit get ready from the gut. You see it gather. So like you just gotta get away. Just get away, yo. All y'all social media platforms, y'all platform. The block button is a good button. Just use it. You feel me? Like,
dude, I want to be honest with you. I never did this because I was so against getting stuck in an echo chamber. But finally muting Instagram stories has made me so much healthier. And I also just want to hammer home one last point, Kem, is Ricky made the point about how, his Facebook is happy. You got to make it an exercise. I'm going to tell you what. When you're watching TV and you're listening to your friends on all these social medias, it literally feels like the world is burning, right? Yes. Riots, death, everything. But when you finally get the opportunity to unplug, I truly, it feels like the world has become a better place. People are going out of their way. Maybe it's virtue signaling. Who knows? But people go out of their way to show their neighbor, their fellow companion at the deli or wherever they're at, the grocery store, that I'm good and I love you guys. The humanity is glowing.
And it shouldn't stop there.
Boom. Right. And the reality is totally contradicted by the manufactured nonsense on the television.
You shouldn't have to go out your way to treat someone good.
That's true too. It should just be innate. I agree.
And it will rub off. Like, just be a good person.
Yeah. That is the point. Is it snowballs? People recognize.
Unfortunately, there are some bad eggs. Of course, there's going to be bad eggs in everything.
Every country has the hood. Every country has the shit. Like everything.
Right. So, but generally, from a person standpoint, like you're not going to just go push them. Like I said, as going back to kindergarten, first grade, the golden rule is treat others as you want to be treated. Like exactly. And that's what I go by, and sorry to throw it all the way back, but like that's it. So you just be nice to someone, and generally and other people, obviously that's not how they do it.
And people feed off each other's energy. Exactly. Yeah. If you come in this room angry as fuck, I'm gonna look at you like, what's going on? Like you gonna make me feel on the edge, Exactly. Like
that's a good point.
You come in here happy, I'm like, hey, let's turn up. Let's get going. Exactly. So it's like, be happy within yourself and carry good vibe. Just that's not even carry good vibe, but like carry of be good and just try to have everything around you okay. Nothing is gonna ever be perfect. Just try to implement it little things every day. Like, and back to your social media thing, bro. I had to cut off because every morning I get up, Instagram. I hit it as I get up.
It's
Instagram,
crazy.
Facebook. Until a couple months ago, I get up. Stocks, reading an article, like that's what I get up and do now. Like, so I have to keep myself distracted. And it's a work, y'all. Like everything,
but it's exercise.
Yes,
it's good.
Everything is a work within. So,
but you definitely reminded me of when our conversation, the last podcast when we went live on Instagram. Lady Money, one of your followers, made a great point of like, well, what do I do when I'm being nice to people who are full of hate and they're mean to me? Well, that's the point. No. I'm not saying be Jesus and be holier than thou to people who are terrible. Because here's the problem. Anecdotal story. We had this new neighbor move into our neighborhood a couple years ago, and it was driving my mom nuts that we'd wave to them, and they would smug us. They never waved back, and my mom would get so aggravated, and I could see the aggravation and the upsetness grow in her. And then when and I'd wave to them every day. And I told my mom, I go, Mom, I want them to have to confront the fact every day they're going to consciously choose to be a jerk.
Because that's the same thing with my neighbor in Philadelphia. Right. He doesn't say hi. He doesn't wave. Every morning I come out and I see him, I'm like, hey, good morning. He don't say nothing. I'm like, hey, all right.
That's it.
But I make him. But see, I'm a dickhead in this way because I'm gonna make him feel like shit too.
Yeah. That's
like,
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make you conscious. Yes.
Have a good one. Yeah. I'm just gonna kill him with kindness. Like that's it.
And you will kill him with kindness. And back to
it sucks though. Like
it does. But it makes him hard.
Disrespect in the gut. Like you're trying to be not even kind. You're just
respectful.
Being a human.
Yes.
It's a human thing.
It is being nice, right? Like generally being nice.
Should we call it being nice? Or should it just be a way? Like
I agree with you.
Being you get up, you just want to stretch your hand. Hey, I don't know.
Right.
That's what was killing me with the masks, man. I'd go to the grocery store, and I mean, a specific situation. This lady was leaving. She had her mask off. I have mine on, and she smiled, and she said hi. And, like, I smiled, and she didn't see it, so I came off as the asshole. And it's like, we're losing our humanity here, folks.
Yo, in the airport, I felt so weird because I was smiled back, and I felt so weird, like, oh, I do have the mask on. They don't even see if I'm smiling. Like,
it makes you want to, like, pull it down, like, smile, and put it back. Like,
well, no, you just need a little switch that goes frown and
yo, I don't know. I guess we gotta work on our cheekbones line now, so we know when it goes up and down. Like,
that is, dude. Like, when I'm talking to the judge, I'm always trying to emphasize, like, yes, my cheeks are up. I am smiling because again, it's so ridiculous.
It's hard being. For everyone out here, man, it's hard just being a good person with all this shit going around, and you just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, society now is just they want you to fail, and they want to see you. They want to see you be mean, and they want to
combust. Just have So we just gotta keep our head on our shoulder and just whatever you want for yourself, the other person want for themselves as well. So
that's so true.
Go with a clear mind and clear heart.
I really like that, and you know. I guess let's just wrapping it up with our final thoughts here. You know, back to kind of Paul Harvey's thing, right? So if I were the devil, what would I do? And it's everything that's occurring right now. Manipulating the media, turning each other against each other, fueling this hatred that is, I'm sorry. I think it's because we lived in the 90s. And that was probably the most but I feel like we've only gotten more the 80s and then we got less racist and it's only getting worse. And what changed, right?
Like so the 90s. Okay, how do y'all feel about the 90s though? Like
for me personally, I was such a kid. It's a balance.
Perfect stew of like.
I mean, you weren't exposed to freedom. All the outside.
Yes.
See, there were obviously bad issues. Like there were the riots and there was the.
I wasn't
trials.
here in America
right,
at that
exactly.
time, so I came in.
No, exactly, but.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, from our perspective, we were all just kids in a little bubble, so I guess we really didn't have much exposure.
Okay, and when I asked that, like, I don't know if you have siblings, or you see how they grew up in early 2000s or whatever, like, 90s was such a perfect stew dish of freedom.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was going to say.
Like,
no, I'm talking comedy. People were allowed to make race jokes, not about all of us. Right. Because the point was it wasn't a division. It was just a thing that was an element of life.
It was a hustler time. Like, not hustling in the streets, guys. Okay, understand. That too, but still, it was the bull. But like, everything was so like you had to go get it. You had to work for your family. Like 90s was just a stew of. Maybe it was a catapult for the 20th century, so that's why it was like that. It was like leaving off this tail end of it, like. Then all the bad shit.
But then we just rewound the clock.
It didn't feel like the 80s really rolled over to the 90s.
I agree.
Because a lot of shit happened in the 80s. So, like, it doesn't feel like...
It felt better.
Yeah.
The 90s was better than the 80s, but you can't convince me 2020 is better than the 90s.
No, because it feels suffocated in 2020.
And I gotta really ask you the question
is
here.
Too much information?
That I think. Well, so here's the thing. I think I may have talked to you about this.
Enough information.
For me, I think.
More.
I think. Okay, so let's say I made a drug, right? Mm-hmm. And it's to cure polio. Well, we have to do trials. We give it to 1,000 people. There's these things called side effects where, wow, this drug works for 900 other people. But there's 100 people who, because their body chemistry were all so different, again, that's Marxism, that's all of this evolution. Yeah. The whole point is genetic variability is to find out what works best. So I think all of our genetic variability, some of us are way more apt and able to take on this overwhelming amount of information than others. I think people are just snapping and we're seeing it. And then also you've got totally rational, strong people who could have on a regular situation or in a regular vacuum handled this new exposure to the world. Yeah. But I think So much of our action is not, again, they fight under the veil of good. They say they're progressive, but you can convince me a lot of these white liberal kids, I guarantee a lot of what they're doing is fueled by fear.
Yes.
They don't give a shit about anybody but making sure their job isn't taken and that somebody in Pennsylvania isn't taking their job, right? Or trying to get them fired. So it's virtue signaling for virtue signaling's sakes, not because you actually care about anything. It's a crazy time.
It is. It's scary as well, man.
It is.
This is why I don't want
But
kids.
again, it's scary.
Like, I'm so against it. Like, 'cause
But
especially 2020 happening, I was like, yo, the next pandemic is not going to be this light.
No.
The next
you're
fall
right.
is not going to
You're
be this
right.
light. And I don't want to be a parent in the situation where I'm like, so like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, unfortunately, at this point, like all the jokes are that things are getting worse and worse and worse. But like I said, for this pandemic, it was a bad pandemic, and it was bad. But according to what obviously the numbers could have been, and all the stuff, at this point for the night, like I said, and we don't know what the next horrible pandemic
Could
is
be
going
10
to be.
years
Could
from
be,
now, 5 years,
exactly.
we don't-
But we all
Bill
need
Gates
to, we,
choose.
right. We all need to learn how.
Whenever
to
Bill
manage.
Gates wants to flood us
Exactly.
again.
We all need to learn to manage and obviously keep a calm head, and sadly we don't need to bring the pandemic upon ourselves.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And I think
Is that mentality wise? Like,
Exactly.
okay.
and, like we keep harping on, a lot of this is an exercise. It isn't natural. You got to actually work at it. But when Ricky says, it's a scary time, what's going on right now is scary. I will say, and I'm going to lean back on one of the comments we had earlier, I think when you finally get to unplug and you have these conversations, as uncomfortable as they may be, or provocative as it might be, when you finally dive into the dirt with people who are marked as the other or are different from you, you get to you liberate yourself from that, and it isn't scary anymore. It isn't scary. You realize why somebody feels differently than you, or what causes them to come to the decisions they do, and you may not agree, but at least it helps you respect the corner they're fighting out of.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
It's a wild time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, get yourself a galley
To be
boy,
continued.
sit back and have a conversation,
yes.
kick it with your boys, and have a good time.
Yes.
I agree.
Right, guys?
I
True
agree.
True that.
Any final thoughts as we wrap up?
It was good.
We-
It was good. Thank you.
Yes.
It's
good.
A lot of stuff we were talking about was like, you put the Paul Harvey.
Yeah.
Like, it's like rabbit holes, because that shit was from 1965.
Yeah.
And it's like a rabbit hole keep happening over and over and over. Like, yo. And we have it here. I'm pretty sure in like 10 years, someone else gonna sit there and be like, yo, damn. Or have the same conversation. Maybe in a different format because something else happening, but like, it's gonna be the same undertone. Like, yo, the world's just getting bad. Like, what can we do? Why is people so sensitive? Like, I don't know.
I just, like you said, I don't know if I want to bring a kid into this crazy world just yet. So when Kemp has a kid, and in 20 years, and William Gates Jr.
Have one for me, bro.
Yeah. So you have one for me, bro. So when Kemp has kids and William Gates Jr. floods us with a new pandemic, you guys can go back to
William
our
Gates Jr.
podcast and you can find out that we called it. We told you. They're after us. They're coming after us.
Before we leave, the new virus in Beijing? Y'all read about that?
Oh my God, no.
Direct. Okay, when we're off. So he will talk about it next time. It may not, but there's something that came out like scientists' Beijing market lockdown. So
great.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious, how
2
far
days
is
ago.
Beijing from Wuhan?
Beijing to Wuhan.
So we're looking at, it's like a 2-hour flight, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I mean, that's pretty not close. Wait, it said it. 1,100
okay.
miles.
But it
1,200
was
miles.
like, it was some scientists and shit had to quit because of some virus and some shit. Beijing. I'm gonna do more research. He's gonna
That's
do
it.
more.
We got to do our research. But man, again, it just doesn't end.
Yeah.
So how much of this is just to keep the hysteria going, and how much of it is
Exactly.
real, right?
How much is a distraction? Like,
Come on, what are the odds that we have a pandemic?
What is real?
What are the odds we have a pandemic, we let all the criminals out of the jail because of the pandemic, and then we've got crazy, most of them are white, crazy-ass people throwing bricks at Best Buys, right? Like,
Grab me a GoPro. I'm just playing. I don't want no stolen property. I'm cool. I love my freedom. I'm cool. I'm okay.
We also love
And don't go to Best Buy. You go to you go to I want new golf clubs. Go to Dick's.
Yeah.
Yo, right here. Same brand. Okay, Colin. Same brand.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm looking for. But guys, Ricky here in Ohio, finally, and we're not talking through a screen. I get to talk to him in the flesh, and we can't get enough. We just keep shoving food down his throat, and he'll happily take it.
Absolutely. Yes. Anytime there's food, I will be around, close by.
Even if it's crickets, Kemp's here to eat them.
Yeah. Dude, crickets were so good.
Were they?
He liked them.
They were good.
They were covered in cheddar bacon powder.
They tasted like puffy Cheetos. They legit did. I swear.
Interesting.
Maybe it was just those certain ones.
What insects you haven't done yet?
So ask him about the sardines, though.
I love sardines.
Do you?
Yeah, I eat sardines.
No.
I take the sardines out of the can,
not a huge
fry up some scallions, some onion, saute the scallion.
But you're frying them up.
Yeah,
you're not eating out of the can.
I can, though, with bread on top with a little black pepper and salt, mayo.
Okay.
It's good. Sardines is good.
Dude, Brian, the wing master, drank the juice.
Was it the olive oil juice?
Yeah, it was that
no. That will sit on my stomach. That would be bad.
So again, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you check out Right in the Middle. See, I messed it up. Check out Right in the Middle with Ricardo Wright, my boy Ricky. Kemp, check out Kemp on the Rethink Take podcast as a special guest often. But yeah,
thank you.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Seriously, share this video. We need you to. Ricky needs you to. We can't do this without you. So
What they're gonna be. It's like, share, subscribe.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do that.
like, share, subscribe. I don't know where it's at, but
But
you do it.
click that button. We'll catch you next time, and I can't wait to get Ricky on here again. Kemp, you as well, because these are too fun. So guys, catch you next time. Peace.
Veers into panic porn. FDR said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
I think the question is,
News sources have to rein it in.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
We need the news to calm down and